throughout the state? Well, every MSA has gotten above January 2020 levels except for three: Houma, New Orleans, and Lake Charles. And what do they all have in common? Storms, right? So when you look at the green line there, we are still way below pre-pandemic levels. We were hit harder. We have a lot of services in this economy, a lot of production of non-durable goods where the demand fell, and then we had the storms. So we have a lot to recover from, but we are still finally growing, and we will get back up to pre-pandemic levels soon. Unemployment rates have stabilized. We have a relatively low one at 3.4%, so that is always really good news, but we still have a long way to go because we've been through a lot, as has been stated. Good news is we have relatively high income and the lowest cost of living of any MSA in the state. So we are about 15% below the nation in terms of cost of living, and total incomes keep growing, even if it's just a little bit. But we'll see what happens as more data comes out. We want to represent all 5 parishes here. And you can see that due to inflation, due to increased rebuilding and buying, sales tax collections from each parish have increased, and they've remained at higher levels. This is something that we're going to have to keep an eye on. As inflation gets back down, how much of this was due to inflation versus how much is really due to more purchasing? So being in this unpredictable inflationary environment, we're going to have to keep an eye out on this. Unemployment rates seem to have stabilized pretty well. Cameron still has the lowest unemployment rate, about 2.9% for the quarter, but they're all relatively low, just like the nation. And our labor force. So Beauregard is the only parish to have pre-pandemic labor force numbers. You look at Jeff Davis, you look at Allen, they are getting close. Calcasieu and Cameron still has some way to go. We still need workers, we need people, but as Jonathan talked about, we've lost some population due to the storms and COVID. Last year, we had about a 2-to-1 job opening to unemployment figure. Now we're looking at about 1.7. So you're seeing some vacancies go down, but there's still a lot of openings available. Okay, let's look at the forecast here. Forecast, as I always say, vary among sources. So I have Lightcast, Moody's, it's called Lightcast now. Lauren Scott will probably change next month, and ULO. And look at that range of forecasts that you can go through. Either we're going to be flat, or we're going to skyrocket, or we're going to stay the same. I don't know. Pick one. Pick one, whichever one sounds best for you. Now these are great, these are what I've presented in the past, but I'm very excited and very happy to introduce the Drew CVEA McNeese Southwest Louisiana forecasting model. So we have introduced this. This is a new tool, a new model that we've built over the past year. And as I say, it's always subject to change. You're constantly testing forecasting models. You're constantly making sure that it's okay. But this is our first run at it. It's really great. We're going to solicit input from each parish, improve the model's performance in coming years. And this can be updated quarterly to pick up data and account for any necessary changes. So what I want to point out here is that this forecasts QCEW data. When I showed that revision, the reason it fell is because it was revising that CES data to the QCEW data. And so that's a more accurate measure, and also it allows you to forecast every single parish in our area. We are a 5-parish area, we're going to forecast for the area. And you can see, well, what exactly is going to happen to each parish according to the model? Well, this model, the data is only available till the end of 2022. So what we're forecasting is where are we at the end of 2022, and in the future we'll be able to take into more account more recent changes we're seeing in 2023. But I can give an overall impact of what's happening. When it comes to Allen Parish, you're going to see growth. The model's forecasting this. Beauregard, you're going to see some falling is what the model's predicting, but it's going to flatten out occasionally. Calcasieu, as you saw with the coincident indicators, it's pretty flat. We're going to have to see what happens. A lot of it is due to where the other variables like oil prices, state variables, and things like that, where is it going to go? And we have all different forecasts for those. I'm not going to bore you with how the model was predicted. We can't forecast Cameron. We tried, and we tried and tried and tried, and I'm looking at that table right there, and I hope you know how hard it is to forecast, Cameron. This basically means the employment could end up from here to here. You could have negative 5,000 people. You could have ghosts working. So basically what we have is we have a basic, something called an AR1 model that we use, just as based on past performance. And then Jefferson Davis is projected to grow a little bit as well. The Lake Charles MSA forecast is Calcasieu and Cameron together. And what I have here is an aspirational forecast because it's only a statistical model, and it's only till the end of 2022. So all these projects that are gonna go through, the model can't pick those up. So if we add those in, we get something called the aspirational forecast, and we're hoping that it's really we're gonna see some more pickup definitely in 2025. Now this will change next year. We might see higher growth in 2024. But right now we are expecting higher growth if these projects go through. Otherwise it still will remain flat. And this will be worked on. It will be, how do I want to say, refined, tested. And by next year, we'll even have hopefully better estimates if I'm here next year, because now I asked AI how we're gonna do. And Google Bard thinks we're gonna do better than even our models. So economists are now studying how to use AI. And this is what Google Bard says we are going to be over the next few years. So this is the range of forecast. So I hope to see you all next year. Thank you for coming.